Alrighty, guys, it's part two. This is part two. I'm gonna be honest here, guys. A high chance I will not put money into games because I'm not. I'd rather because I've been watching Rabrad for what I've been watching Rabrad for what I don't know 10 years of my life now. I just prefer watching Rabrad on YouTube than playing the games. You see what I'm saying? So instead of me buying a PS5 and playing all these big games, I'd rather just watch Rabbit on YouTube. And you get a better experience, in my opinion, when you watch it than when you play it, obviously. In my opinion, right? Because when playing a game is obviously playing a game is you get a better experience because you're in the game, you're playing the game. But when you sit back and watch it, it's like you get it, and it's a cinematic experience, especially games like The Last of Us. Hence why I'm like, yeah, there's a high chance I will not put money into games because I'm not really gonna play my games, right. I'd rather watch someone play my games, but no one's gonna do that because I didn't sell. Hence why I'm not gonna put money into games. Most likely, I might perhaps. We'll see what happens. But chances are I'm just gonna stick to Sky Source, making my movies, selling my merch, and collecting my tax returns, and that's enough. My speaking fee earnings, and that's it, man. That's enough income for me and VJ. We don't need any more money, man. I don't need any more money, some saying. I'm making more than enough money, obviously. Because even though I love money, I'm a simple-minded person. I'm not into that crazy stuff, man, where you own 20 businesses and you have 100,000 employees. That's crazy. No, I'm a simple-minded person. I just want to start Sky Source. Yes, I have the biggest pro brand in the world, obviously, but I want to just do movies, sell my merch, and that's enough. I don't. Me and VJ don't need more money. VJ will even tell me, Ivan, you're right. We're making more. With some more enough money, we don't need more money. Yeah, we don't need more money. If I make $90 billion on my movie, my merch, I don't need more money. So I'm saying I don't know. I already have 15 billion in my bank for my book sales, and I made an additional $80 for my movies, my merch. I don't need more money. It's enough. It's enough money. I'm gonna make my tens of billions for all my other movies. By the time I do my 5 movies, I'm probably gonna have a good 280, $300 billion in my bank. More than enough money. I don't need any more money. You should say, I don't need any more money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, everyone around the world, all these greedy animals around the world are not like Ivan. Like, money isn't everything to Ivan. Yeah, money isn't everything to me. I love money, but it's not everything to me. So there was all these greedy pigs around the world, like Jeff Bezos and all them. They all want to make more money. I was like, hearing to Jeff Bezos' goal. Jeff Bezos probably has a goal of being a trillionaire. He probably has that goal. You know what I'm saying? And he might perhaps hit that goal because his Amazon company is growing. Every 10 years, his Amazon company is growing exponentially. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. As Jeff Bezos' Amazon company does 500 billion in sales, man. It's a biggest company in the world, Amazon, man. Yeah, man. Bigger than Disney, bigger than Warner Bros., bigger than all those companies. Yeah, man. Amazon does 500 billion every year in sales. My guess is the company's doing probably a good, I don't know, 80 billion in profit around there. 60 billion, 80 billion in profit. Yeah, so Jeff Bezos is pocketing a lot of money for himself every year. That's why he's the second richest man in the world. He's worth 170, $60 billion. Jeff Bezos probably has a good 120, $30 billion in his bank. He's loaded, man. He's fucking loaded. And yet even he wants to make more money. Yeah, because we live in a greedy world, obviously. The gatekeepers probably have, I don't know, 2 trillion, 3 trillion in their bank. You know what I'm saying? Perhaps even 4 trillion. They're fucking loaded, obviously. And even they want to make more money. Yeah, because we live in a greedy world. Whereas Ivan O'Meara, he's greedy, obviously. He loves money. He made his nice, $70 billion off his movies and merch. But he doesn't want to invest his money in other companies because he doesn't want it to become crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's enough for him. Yes, it's enough for me, VJ. I just want to act my movies. You know what I'm saying? Act my movies and act my movies and what? Act my movies and what? Act my movies and act my movies and what? And make my billions, sell my merch, and then me and VJ can take our 8-month vacation. We enjoy our condo in Vancouver. We take our vacation. We travel around the world. We live the life. We stay in all these suites. We go clubbing. We go to bars. We go to nice restaurants. We go on nice cruising. I go cruising with her. We do nice things together. You know what I'm saying? And what? And then we start the process for The Great Escape. That amazing Great Escape movie, obviously. We're badass secret agents. It's enough. Even George Lucas will tell me, yeah, Ivan, Ivan, you're like me, because George Lucas is also a simple-minded man too. George Lucas, you can tell he's a simple-minded man, obviously. As George Lucas, when he started his Lucasfilm company, obviously, when George Lucas started his Lucasfilm company and his Star Wars movies were a hit, you know what I'm saying, he was able to fund his other movies, obviously. George Lucas only owned Lucasfilm. He doesn't own a bunch of things around the world, no. He just owns Lucasfilm, obviously. But George Lucas, he sold a bunch of merch, and he sold his rights for the game, for the company, his rights for his game, for his games, obviously. He made a lot of money. No, I don't think he sold the rights for his games. I don't know what happened behind the scenes with George Lucas' company, obviously. But George Lucas is obviously a simple-minded man like me. He just made his movies, and he sold his merchandise. You had his games and you had his merchandise, and that's it. The books, the merchandising, and the games. And he collected his hundreds of millions. Hence why he's worth $7 billion. You know what I'm saying? And what? He's a simple-minded man. I mean, he doesn't really like the attention. He's a simple-minded man. Yes, he's a simple-minded man, obviously. Are you saying you don't like the attention? No, I love the attention of the fans. It's an amazing feeling, obviously, to experience that glory. But at the end of the day, I'm a simple-minded man. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you guys think I'm crazy. Ivan, you're fucking crazy. Like, you don't want to build your theater chain. You don't want to start your game division. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to build parks. Like, why aren't you, Ivan, why are you so against making more money for this? Because I know that feeling when you own a bunch of stuff. It becomes crazy. And it just becomes crazy. It becomes so crazy. It's like you have no control. You have no control anymore because everything is just you own so many businesses. It's crazy. You have all these employees. It's crazy. You know, so I'm not a fan of that crazy. I'm a simple-minded person. Hire my 7 team. You have a couple people helping with business calls. Make your movie and you sell your merch on Amazon. It's enough. I don't need any more money. If me and VJ make 80 billion, me and VJ might even make 100 billion. If we make 100 billion off the movies and the merch, me and VJ, it's enough. If we make $120 billion off the movies and merch, it's enough. Me and VJ don't need more money. It's enough money. I don't know, by the time I release my movie and my merch, me and VJ are now rich like Batman. We're worth like $90 billion. We have like $90 billion in our bank. We don't need more money, man. It's enough money. You see what I'm saying here? VJ like, yeah, Ivan, $90 billion is too much. It's too much money. It's enough. It's more than enough money, yes. It's too much money. It's more than enough money. We don't need more money, me and VJ. You see what I'm saying? We're rich enough. You see what I'm saying? We're rich enough. Obviously, as I'll be blowing on average probably a good $6, $7 to maybe $20 million a year. Around there. Me and VJ will be blowing. Some years you might blow 40 perhaps, but I highly doubt it. Chances are I'm going to blow around 6, 7 to like 10, 15 million every year. Which is chump change if you have billions in your bank, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously. But down the road, I might think about it. I'm going to have this talk with VJ. If you want to invest money in games, if you want to invest money in this theater chain, if VJ wants to invest money in the theater chain, I will build the theater chain, obviously. But I think it's kind of a waste of money. And if VJ wants to put money into games, I'll put money into games and I'll build out theater chain. But chances are VJ is a simple-minded woman like me. You can tell Victoria Justice, she's a simple-minded woman like me. She's not into, I'm not into that crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? She might tell me, Ivan, I don't want to build a theater chain. I don't want to do all this work. Yes. Let's just release on 4 on Amazon. Amazon already has warehouses worldwide. All over Europe, Canada, America, Mexico, China, Japan, Korea, New Zealand, Australia. We don't need to fucking build a theater chain. Amazon already has their big distribution center worldwide. They can handle all this dirty work for us, Ivan. Yeah. Whereas if I build a theater chain, me and VJ now have to handle all that dirty work. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, how the dirty work? I mean, we're gonna have to what? We're gonna have to fund the millions of pounds of food for a billion plus people for the concessions. It's fucking crazy, man. We have to pay 10,000, 50,000 employees their salary and the managers, pay the CEOs their salary. We have to distribute the film on all the theaters worldwide. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's just crazy. That's why I'm just going to stick to 4 on Amazon. It's enough. And I'll sell my merch on Amazon. But for the merch, I might perhaps sell toys and t-shirts, perhaps, with my mugs and my posters. I can do a thing when you get your 6 mugs, your 5 mugs and your 6 pulsers, the paper pulsers or the frame pulsers and your 5 mugs, printed, your customized ale mugs, obviously. You get the option of getting a couple toys and a couple t-shirts. You can do that if you want. But chances are I'm just going to stick to pulsers and mugs. That's enough for the merch. As long as you have a nice poster to hang in your house and you have your nice mugs, that's enough for the merch. You don't need to sell t-shirts and toys. It's kind of a waste, I'm saying. T-shirts are nice, but toys are kind of a waste to sell. It's kind of a waste of money to sell toys, I'm saying. But it's nice to have a toy collection in your house, obviously. A nice toy collection. But who knows, I might perhaps sell t-shirts and toys. Amazon might tell me, Ivan, why don't you sell t-shirts and toys? You know what I'm saying? We can manufacture your toys, we can manufacture your t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? As long as you price it well, we'll make our profit back. We'll make our profit, yeah. Obviously. I might perhaps sell t-shirts and toys for my merch. Or I'm probably just going to stick to posters and mugs. Posters and mugs for my what? I'm going to stick to posters and mugs for my, posters and mugs for my what? Stick to posters and mugs for my movie, obviously. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. But something tells me, Peter Jackson told me, Ivan, why don't you build that theater chain, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Peter, I'm not going to spend $10 billion, man. It's fucking crazy. Ivan, you'll make your money back. I'm like, yeah, I'll make my money back, but it's a daunting process. Peter will be like, yeah, Ivan, it's a daunting process. Peter will be like, yeah, Ivan, if I were you, I wouldn't even build that theater chain. I don't want to spend $10 million of my money. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of money, Ivan. Yeah, theater chain, Ivan's expensive, man. Whereas the games is cheap, Ivan. For a good $300 million, you can do a good Saiyans game. Whereas a theater chain is going to cost you billions, Ivan. It's going to cost you like $11 billion of your money. Yeah, it's a lot of money, man. But I'll make my money back. But it's expensive, obviously, a theater chain. One reason why I don't really want to do the theater chain, because it's very expensive. It's like $11 billion of my money, man. It's a lot of money, but I'll make my money back. I'll make my nice like $40, $50 billion off of ticket sales. So it's a good investment, obviously, but it's a daunting process, hiring all these construction crew, and it's crazy, man. Yeah, hence why I'm just going to stick to 4K. I'm most likely just going to stick to 4K Blu-ray on Amazon. And I'm going to sell my merch and my posters on my mugs and my posters on Amazon for the world to buy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, for the posters, all I have to do is just send all I have to do is just send Amazon the picture files for the 6 posters. So the graphic designers and the photographers, they take the pictures, graphic designers edit the pictures, and we send Amazon the file, and they just print it onto their poster papers, and you get your paper poster. And for the frame, it's the same thing, except that they print it onto the frame poster. So they're posters, but they're framed. It's like I'm not talking about those cheap picture frames. No, like professional frame pictures, like the cover print is imprinted onto the frame. If you want to get a good example, watch Star Wars Theory, Neil Tuse's videos when he talks about posters that he got. Yeah, you remember those posters that you got? You remember how you saw the background? You saw his Thor, his Matrix frame poster. Yeah, like frame posters like that, professionally framed posters. 6 of those you can hang in your house, and you get your nice 5 mugs. Have it come with 5 mugs. That way, if someone has a family, most of the people can have a mug for themselves. Because most people have on average 2 to 3 kids around there. So if you have a family of 5, each person gets a mug for themselves. And if they have like 7 people, that's too bad. You're gonna have to share those mugs, obviously. When you watch my movie, 5 people can have the mug. 2 people will not have the mug. Will not have the L mug, right? Yeah. I'm gonna sell customized mugs. So if you watch it with your friends, with your girlfriend, and you watch my documentary, you can get your L mug, your L customized mug. Go to the store, get 6 beers, pour your beer in your mug, and you drink it. Cheers, and you enjoy the documentary. And then the movie comes out, you do the same thing. Get your 6 beers, you pour it on your L mug, your L customized mug. You have your nice posters hung up in your house, and you watch the movie, and you order your food. Your nice McDonald's, your Domino's pizza, your shawarma, your Subway. You do your barbecue. Some people will do barbecues for my movie. Some people will go to the store and get like popcorn. They'll go to the grocery store and get popcorn, obviously. You can go for the grocery store, you can You can get like a 2 packs of one pack of popcorn with 6 popcorn for like $7. You know those packages, those popcorn packages you buy at the store? Yeah, obviously. But most people will most likely get like pizza or something like that. Pizza for my movie. They'll get pizza, chips, and like pop for my movie, obviously, and like and like beer. The guys who live on their own or who are seeing with a bunch of friends, they'll probably get high and have like 6 beers and get like McDonald's and like pizza. Whereas the people who have a family will most likely get pizza because it's cheaper, obviously. So if you have a family of 5, you get 2 large boxes of pizza. You get two big Cokes. You get chips. You know what I'm saying? And if your parents drink, they can get 6 beers for themselves. Or you can get, if your kids are all adults, you get 6 beers. Everyone has 1 beer for themselves. And some people will get high in Canada, you know what I'm saying? They get high because Eric the devil himself, yeah. You get high because Eric the devil himself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Crazy, yeah, man. That's why Zanes will have crazy, crazy buzz. Crazy buzz, man. Crazy buzz like you've never experienced before. Crazy buzz, man. Crazy buzz. For the remaining 14 minutes, I'm going to end the video here after this part. I don't think I can go on for another 30 minutes, guys. We'll see what happens. I might make a full video. It just depends how I feel. If by in a good like 10 minutes, if I'm a little tired, I'm gonna complete the video. I'll make a good 1-hour video and I'll upload it. I'll probably watch it, and after I watch the video, I'm gonna go to bed and sleep. Wake up in the evening, and I'll around 7, 8, and I'll work on my book with Younger Sister Brother, and I'll get my beer, my smokes, and I'll watch some Rad Last of Us and some other YouTube clips. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously. So let me talk about the contracts again. So for my Zayas movie, I am willing to pay Peter $85 million. That's a good paycheck for him. That's $106 million in New Zealand money. Obviously. And I'll give him 0.6% of the profits, which is a good 300 to 400 million in royalties. Most likely 350 million around there in royalties he'll make. I did the math. He'll make about $350 million. But he might make more. He might even make 430 because I might even do more. But if 1.8 billion people buy a movie, Peter Jackson will make even more. He'll make like 430, 440. But chances are you're looking at about 1.4 billion around there. 1.3 billion people worldwide buying it. But if 2 billion people buy my movie, Peter Jackson will make even more. He'll make like 40 million in royalties. He'll make even more. And John Boyega will make like 7 million in royalties. He'll make even more. You see what I'm saying? But chances are you're looking at maybe about 1.5 billion, 1.4 billion people, 1.3 billion people around will buy. Because most people have families, so it cuts it down in half. You have a family of 5, you only need to buy 1 movie. You're not going to buy 5 movies. No, you buy 1 movie. And so it cuts it all, and it cuts the amount in half. You see what I'm saying? The only people who buy the movie for themselves, obviously, are the people who live on their own. But most people who live in a household, they live with a family, and so they're only going to buy 1 movie. And so it cuts down the amount, obviously. Like, I don't know, 13 million people in Canada buy it, 80, 90 people in America buy it, 40 million people in Mexico buy it, 30 million people in Mexico buy it, you see what I'm saying? 300 million people in China buy it. You see what I'm saying? Because they have families, obviously. 500 million, 400 million people in Europe buy it. 500 million people in Europe buy it, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, it cuts it down. You're probably looking at about 1 billion people perhaps buying it. 1.3 billion around there, yeah. So Peter Jackson will make his like 300 to like 350, 400 million dollars in royalties. Just depends on what you will buy. My guess is Peter will make about 350 million in royalties around there. 350 million royalties he'll make, which is what, $350 million is like $220 million after taxes, $230 million after taxes. It's $220 million after taxes around there. So Peter Jackson, if he gets $350 million, he'll make $220 million after taxes, around there, and his agent takes 10% of that, which is like $20 million around there, $22 million around there. And Peter will make like about $200 million after taxes for his royalties alone. It does not include the $60 million he made for his salary and bonuses. And Peter Jackson will make his like $260, $270 million after taxes. If he makes $350, if he makes $400 million royalties, he'll make more. He'll make like $260, $270 million after taxes, even $300 million after taxes. Peter Jackson will make about He'll make about like $280 to like $320 million around there, $330 million after taxes, around there. He'll make about $260 to like $300 million after taxes for his entire paycheck, like his salary with his bonuses and his royalty checks. So if Peter Jackson makes $400 million in royalties, he's gonna make his $300+ million after taxes. Peter, he's gonna make a lot of money. Because the amount of money he made compared to how much me Vijay made his pocket change, he thinks it's small. Obviously, that's why he's greedy. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? He's a greedy animal. Like, he knows it's a lot of money, but because he knows he saw my videos. Because he knows me and Vijay are gonna make our tens of billions. When you make, in other words, because Peter Jackson knows me, if me and Vijay make $55 billion and Peter Jackson makes $300 million over taxes, that's small compared to the $55 billion me and Vijay made. He wants a nice piece of that. He wants a nice like $1 billion of that because he's greedy. Obviously, more in reality, what I paid him is a massive, rich contract, but he's just greedy. Obviously, yeah. You're thinking about the big picture. You're thinking about the big picture, Peter. Stop thinking about the amount of money me and Vijay made, and just know that the amount of money I'm paying you is a fat, fucking rich, super rich contract. And you're $300 million richer, Peter. It's a lot of money, but because, yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's nothing compared to how much you and Vijay made. Yes, Peter, you're thinking about the bigger picture. Stop being greedy. You're being greedy. Let go of your greed. Let go of your greed. Because something tells me Peter Jackson, what, man? He's like, oh, I don't know. I offered Peter $350 million, and he's like, I want more, Ivan. His agent's like, what? His agent tries to push for more. And I'm like, Peter, 0.6% is not enough for you. No, Ivan, it's not enough. I want like double that, man. I want like 1.2% of your money. I'm like, Peter, you're fucking crazy. I'm only going to take 1% of my share and divide it with you, my 17 Yakos. I'm not going to give you 1.2%. You're affecting my budget. I'm not going to walk away with 69%, Peter. You're fucking crazy. I'm not going to give you 1% of my money. You're fucking crazy, man. Because if I give Peter 1.2%, he's gonna make like 700, 800 million in royalties. He saw like his 900 million. Peter Jackson wants that $900 million deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Peter Jackson will either. This is what Peter Jackson will do most likely. His agent will try to negotiate for a higher percent of the profits, obviously, like maybe 1%, or his agent might try and negotiate for an amount. Because for the royalties, you can either negotiate for an amount or a percentage. Doesn't really matter. It's the same thing, right? Either 0.6 or, Ivan, what about $1 billion of the royalties? What if you give Peter $1 billion of royalties? I'm like, are you fucking crazy? I'm not giving Peter $1 billion of my royalties. He's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? If that doesn't work, Peter Jackson might negotiate for a percentage of the merch. Ivan, what about a nice $350 million of the merch, Ivan? I'm like, Peter, I'm not going to give you $300 million of the merch. You're not worth it. You're not. Why would I give you a piece of the merch when you're not even featured on the merch? Yeah, but Ivan, I'm a sponsor for your Billionaire Empire. Yes, hence why I'm giving you 0.6% of the profits, which is $350 million in royalties, $400 million in royalties. A lot of money because stop being greedy, Peter. You know you're being greedy, Peter. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? You're being greedy. You're being greedy, Peter. Stop it, obviously. You know what I'm saying? His agent, yeah. If that doesn't work, Peter Jackson might try and negotiate for a higher salary. Ivan, what about a $200 million salary? I'm like, no, Peter. $85 million is good enough. You don't make this in Hollywood, Peter. For Lord of the Rings, you only made maybe about $10 million for your fucking salary. I heard. He might have made more, but I heard he made $10 million space, Peter. Because Peter wasn't that big of a director back then. When you see Peter behind the scenes, Lord of the Rings, he was not the Peter you see now. He wasn't that big of a director. He was probably only worth about $1 million back then. He wasn't big. He got his base like $10 million. And the money he made off the Lord of the Rings success, Peter Jackson struck it rich off Lord of the Rings. He made his $250 million and that's when Peter became Peter Jackson. He became super rich and super wealthy. You see what I'm saying? Because Peter is big and he's an animal, obviously. He's a greedy animal, obviously. He might ask, Ivan, what if you give me 0.6% of like a $200 million salary? I'm like, Peter, you're being greedy. I'm not going to pay you $200 million. Yeah, but Ivan, you can easily afford it. Yeah, I can easily afford it, but you're not worth a $200 million salary, Peter. As guys like James Cameron, you know what I'm saying? Even guys like James Cameron, Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, Christopher Nolan, they don't make that kind of money. They only make like $25, $30 million. And then you made your what? You made your $85 million. And they made their what? They make their $25 million what? Yeah. They don't even... Peter, the amount of money I'm paying you, no director in Hollywood makes that kind of money for a base. Because chances are, if the guy's a big, respected director, obviously, chances are that guy makes anywhere between 10, 15, 20, 25, $30 million in base. Probably around that 15, 20 million range. And they negotiate for a nice piece of the profits. A nice 25, 30, 15, 10, 40, 50 million, 60 million. James Cameron probably makes 25, $30 million for his base salary. And he negotiates for a nice maybe 50 million, $100 million of the royalties. $40 million of the royalties, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the amount of money I'm paying you, Peter, even James Cameron doesn't make that kind of money. James Cameron, you know what I'm saying? Quentin Tarantino does not make $85 million for his base. No, he probably makes like $20 million for his movies. And he negotiates for a nice 10, 15, $20 million of the royalties. You know what I'm saying? Peter, you're making way more money than how much all these directors make in Hollywood. You're being greedy, Peter. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking about the bigger picture. Stop thinking about the amount of money. I know, because Peter Jackson saw my videos, he knows the kind of money I'm going to make off my movie. Because before I thought I only make like $3 billion off my movie. And I did the math of like $160 times 700 million. It came out to 112 billion. I'm like, holy shit, I want to make my tens of billions off my movie. Yeah. Me and Vij are going to make like 55 billion bucks off like Zanus, the movie alone. And another like maybe 30 billion off the merch, man. Something crazy, yeah, man. A massive contract, yeah, man. We're gonna be rich like Batman, man. You know how Batman is super rich? He owns his own Wayne Tech. You know, so yeah, you know how Batman has his Wayne Tech technology? Think of something like that for my Scotch's company. I have my grand physical property, my advanced studio office, my nice my nice special effects unit building. You know what I'm saying? I have my advanced payment system. You know what I'm saying? You see, Batman. Alfred is Batman's caretaker, pretty much. Yeah, you have something like that with my 7 team are my assistants, my secretaries, and my head production are my assistants. They handle all the scheduling for me. Yeah, me and gonna be boss, rich like Batman. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, going back to Peter Jackson, because I'm most likely will choose him over Mil, but I might choose Mil over Peter. You never know. I might choose Mel Gibson over Peter. You never know. We'll see what happens. Something tells me Peter Jackson will be a greedy animal. He'll be a greedy pig, and he'll demand something crazy. I want $1 billion. Ivan, forget the 0.6%. Just give me $1 billion of your royalties, Ivan. I'm like, Peter, you're crazy. I'm not gonna. Peter Jackson, his agent might ask for a deal like a flat $1 billion off the royalties. Yeah, can you give Peter $1 billion of your royalties, Ivan? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna give Peter Jackson $1 billion of royalties. He's not worth it. My deal is 0.6% of the profits. That's a good 300, 330, about 350 million, probably around there in profits. That's good enough for Peter. He's being greedy. Peter, you're gonna walk away with like a $40+ million check in your bank after taxes. That's enough money. You're just being greedy, obviously. Because the amount of money he made is chump change compared to how much me and Vijay made. Peter Jackson wants a nice $1 billion. He wants a nice like $600, $500 million in his bank because he's greedy. But he knows he's not worth it. Yeah, Ivan, it's a deal. I'm just being greedy. Yes, Peter, you're being greedy. Let go of your greed and stop being greedy, man. You're being a greedy pig. You're being a greedy pig. You're being a greedy pig, see what I'm saying? You're being a greedy pig. Stop it, Peter. being a greedy pig. Stop it. See what I'm saying? But you gotta be careful for Peter Jackson. He is a greedy animal. But he'll accept my deal. I have this a deal. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a shitload of money. I don't even make this in Hollywood. Yeah, you don't make this in Hollywood. I'm just being an asshole, Ivan. I'm being a greedy pig. Yeah, you're being greedy, Peter. I know you want a nice piece of, you want a bigger chunk of it. When in reality, I'm giving you a nice, I'm paying you a nice paycheck, Peter. You're just being greedy. As no other person would pay you this kind of money, Peter, if they were like me. If you were in my shoes, Peter, would you pay me? Would you give me 0% of your money, Ivan? No, Ivan. I'd pay you like your flat like $60 million salary, and that's it, man. $50 million salary, and that's it. I wouldn't give you shit because I'd take it off for myself. I'm fucking greedy, yes, and I'm willing to take $85 million out of my pocket and pay you your $85 million, which is $106 million salary. That's a rich salary. Even guys like James Cameron don't make that, and I'm willing to give you a nice 0.6% of the profits, which is a nice $300, $350, even $400 million in royalties. And you sign your like $450, $500 million deal, that's a lot of money. You're just greedy. You want more money, obviously. Yes. Obviously. And I'm nice enough to give you a $2 million re-release for all the releases of my movie. It's a nice paycheck. $2 million in Canadian money is what? Like, I don't know, $4 million in New Zealand money. Peter Jackson's going to get a $4 million check in his bank for each of my releases. So if I do, I don't know, in the what? I don't know, in the 20... I don't know. In the 20 years before Peter Jackson dies after Zane's obviously, don't hang Peter. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? In the 20 years before Peter Jackson dies, if I release Zane's 3 times, Peter Jackson's going to collect like, I don't know, like $16 million in royalties. It's a nice paycheck for Peter Jackson. My deal for the actors and Peter Jackson and all them, they get their royalty checks until they die. Then once they die, they start receiving the royalty checks. So I'm not going to pay their family members. I'm not going to give their family members royalty checks. No. You get the money until you depart from this world. So the deal is you get your royalty check until your death, obviously. Until death. That's part of the contract, obviously. You get your royalty check until you pass away. I'm not going to write pass away in the contract. That's rude. But I'm going to tell them, look, man, like, you guys will receive your royalty checks, but once you pass away, you no longer receive your checks. I'm not going to send your family and all of them checks. No, you get your royalty checks until you pass away. Once you die of old age, my hope is you all live long, obviously. Once you die of old age, you stop receiving your checks. You know what I'm saying? As they're no longer alive, I'm not going to send the actors checks, obviously. So the Zane's actors are lucky. They're going to be receiving their two $50,000 recurring royalty checks for a good, like, I don't know, 40, 50 years of their life, man. In 40 years, I'm probably going to have like 10, 12 re-releases.